Morning, everybody. What a wonderful, serene morning. And my Commodore. We're back here again. Welcome to how-to video number 302 on the VE 3.0 SIDI ALLOYTECH Commodore sports wagon. And I've I mentioned before, here's my two lovely cars. This one mechanically going really good at the moment. This one not so much. So that's the one with the timing chain that's been stretched a little bit, and all of a sudden the car has developed an overheating problem. And so here's what's happened. The car was going fine, and then once we got into start-stop traffic, it would start to overheat, and then the fans would come on and really loud. You know, we don't normally hear the fans on this car, so fans started coming on, and then the temperature just rose right up, and I'm talking about 111 degrees it got to. Yeah, then the thermometer in the car started jumping up and down and all sorts of stuff, the indicator in the car, in the dash. Anyway, so I've went on a YouTube search and a Google search, and here's what I've come up with. The car is currently doing what is called the coolant system bleeding, and it's really funny. It's doing this thing called burping. So all I've had to do is I'm opening this up. Now, before I do anything else, I'm not a mechanic, so I could have completely stuffed the car. I've got no idea. All right, hopefully I haven't. Coolant, demineralized water. This is how much I ended up putting in the car to get it to be at this height. Right, so there it is there. And when I first put it in there, the water was that color, right? And then started doing a burping, which is the bubbles coming up through that liquid. There's quite a few bubbles. Is there any more coming? See if I can get one for you on video. So, we've been doing a big oh, there we go. There you go, did you see that? It just keeps coming. So I think what happened was, that's where you fill up the coolant. That's your reservoir. And at the start, nothing was happening. So yeah, I think now it's gone this red color, so the coolant has actually come through to that section. So I'm thinking, or maybe it's just mixed, I don't know, but it's definitely red now, so it's got that coolant color. And yeah, and then now if I go to the I've got it in engineering mode, plenty of videos on how to do that. And it's just, and the car's been sitting here idle, and it's just sitting on 87 degrees the whole time. I can't get it to go any higher. 86, 87. We've been on this for a little while now, and it's not moving. So it's time for an episode of House, where we try to figure out what is actually going on in this engine. And what I think has happened is the water was not, it was just empty in the around it, not empty, but sorry, very low around the engine, and the coolant was not making its way through to that route. So with this bleeding that's happening now, hopefully that's rectified, and it will now go around and around, and hopefully it will work. So anyway, the trials and tribulations of the Holden Commodore continue. Still going. It's supposed to be swirling or something. So I don't know if the thermostat's kicked in or not. See, that could be because it's not swirling. I reckon maybe the thermostat's maybe stuff. Now, if that is the case, I'm in trouble, because the thermostat in these cars is right at the back. So I've seen people pull all this whole section out here, take the manifold cover off, and then right at the back is where it is, and then you've got to have little hands and poke around in there to get in there, and I don't know if I really want to do that. But, you know, might as well, because, yeah, this is, might as well have a bit of a play.
2,000 years later.
All right, little second edit here, because I've kept the car running, and I've just noticed, I'll show you this way, the water started to swirl, and there's a lot more bubbles coming. There you go. So that means that the water's definitely been pumped around, so that's good. That's a good sign. It's getting a bit violent through there. And let's have a look at the temperature. Yep, it's around 88. So I reckon 87 might have been a thermostat sort of temperature, but again, not quite sure, but I'm just showing you what's happening. Round and around we go. Just get a little whirlpool in the middle there. Yeah. Bubbles, bubbles, bubbles. There you go. See that? The bubbles popping up slow. Get out of that system, you silly thing. Alright, I just pulled over, starting to climb a little bit again. But anyway, that was definitely climbing up and up and up before in normal driving conditions, and now she's just sort of sitting there. But during driving, it's definitely just going back down under that 86 degrees. So, all right, here she goes, climbing up again, but pretty slowly. We're just gonna stay here for a bit. Just shove it in there. Little park. I love engineering mode. If you're a bit of a geek like me, well then you can just sort of have a look at all of these bits and pieces of your car that you wouldn't normally see. It's got that's speed, tacho. Look at the revs go. I don't think it does tire pressure sensors. Anyway, I don't know how on earth it would tell the engine oil life. The voltage. Throttle position is cool. Transmission sump temperature. I'm not doing a full test, it's annoying. What else has it got? Yeah, it's got all these things. Battery voltage. So if you have a problem with the battery, you don't need a voltmeter, it just sits there for you. Charge. Fuel remaining. Your instant fuel, which on this dash you don't get. So, yeah. And there's a coolant temp again, 89. Well, I think it's behaving much nicer now. Just gonna chill here for about a minute or two. Little follow-up video about a week later, everyone. Hello, welcome to time travel. It's a bit of a windy day. Hopefully it's gonna be able to record it for you nicely. But here is the Commodore. It's still running, so all is good so far. Look, we've had the car on the highway for a lengthy period. We've had the car in traffic, start-stop traffic, and it's been behaving nicely. So it seems to have solved the problem, fingers crossed. So I've sent the car because it's very windy out there. So right, another thing's fixed and the Holden is back on the road. So here's a list of the things that have gone wrong with this car. And you know what? We've had this for over 100,000 Ks now. So we bought this car, I think it had 97,000 Ks on the clock, and now it's got 225,000, 230,000, something like that. So here we go. So the things that have gone wrong with the Holden Commodore, and really it's not that bad. Let's go. It had the air conditioning. That was the most costly one. We've had the evaporator or unit or whatever it is in there that needed fixing. That was left to the professionals because I am not going to be touching this dash to pull it all apart. So yeah, that one got a leak in it. So it was fixed and regassed and now it works fine. Apparently it's fairly common. Yeah, so that was one. Next thing, the rear struts. So on the sports wagons, this is going to be an item that's a replacement item, a cheap fix, but the struts on the back went. Let me show you in the back. So yeah, at the back there, the struts on that rear wagon door, yep, they went, and they needed replacing. So that was the second thing. Next thing, the gearbox. So I've got a video about when this all broke under here. So there's this car's messy. So underneath here, there is a little assembly that joins the switching mechanism here to the gearbox, and it eroded away. There's a whole video about that if you search my YouTube channel. And now we've had this overheating issue, and that's about it really. Hey, so I think look, overall I can't really fault this car. It's been really good. The shockies need replacing at the moment, but they're not too bad. Hey, they're sort of passable. Yeah, Holden. Not a bad little product. So just finally, one thing I did learn about this car is that just for your knowledge, you know, if you like to learn about things, this car uses an engine that was meant for front wheel drive. And because of that, the thermostat, which is the whole housing and everything, is at the back of the engine, which is, it shouldn't be there, but it's there because, well, I don't know, the design, you know, how it is, international model cars type of work. So it's probably a Opel or a GM product from somewhere. And here we are. So luckily it wasn't a thermostat in this case, but yeah, so that's about it really. So there you go. Well, the car continues to run, and oh yeah, of course, it's how can I forget the timing chain. Yeah, so the timing chain as stretched on this car. So my car just there, it's fine, but on this one it's stretched, and the little engine light comes on, which, you know, it's not a nice feeling to have the engine light on in the car, but you know what, it's fine, it runs fine. You can't notice anything except it just throws that fault every time you start up the car, and yeah, but that we're just going to keep running it because we're not going to spend another, well, I think the quotes are about $2,500 to fix the timing chain, so we're going to leave that one alone. So anyway, another thing has just been fixed today, so hopefully that's it for another little while. But if anything else comes up, I will continue to keep making videos for you about this awesome car, somewhat Aussie built family wagon. All right, please subscribe if you can, that'd be sweet. And questions, comments, write them below. And thanks for watching, and see you at the next video. Bye.